Restraining orders are supposed to protect you if you're in danger, but they don't always stop abuse, sometimes even murder.
This is News 3 Nightside with Jim Snyder and Nina Radetich.
Good evening, everyone. We live in a state with a distinction no one is proud of. We have one of the highest domestic violence murder rates in the nation.
Restraining orders are supposed to protect victims from their abusers. Thousands of them are requested every year, but $30 and some skepticism may be keeping women from getting the help they need. Now lawmakers want to step in and help. Anqunette Moon joins us with more.
Nina and Jim, right now, if you're being stalked by a stranger, you would have to pay $30 to file a protective order. Some lawmakers want to get rid of that fee because they say it is unfair to charge the victim for asking for help. But even if this bill passes, lawmakers face another hurdle. When it comes to domestic violence, many victims don't want to even bother with a restraining order because they don't believe they work. And in some cases, they're right.
Donna Hernandez.
I knew this was going to happen, but nobody want to help.
Stabbed to death, police say, by her ex-husband.
It's destroyed my life.
Tamara Theros.
I feel like I've become a victim too.
Her boyfriend is accused of kicking her so much it killed her.
We love you, Mom.
And Marina Cannon.
Tell the women what happened to me.
A murdered woman's final wish. Tell the world she knew her ex-husband would kill her. All of these women victims of domestic violence, and all of them had restraining orders.
I feel safer having the restraining order.
But this woman knew it would take more than that piece of paper to keep her safe. We're keeping her name and face hidden because she's hiding from her ex-boyfriend.
Yes, he did go against the restraining order twice, matter of fact.
A restraining order is a good first step.
What the victim is doing is creating documentation, creating a paper trail that says, I am in danger.
But Brooks says they are not enough. She advises abused women to find other ways to protect themselves, even move out of town, because some abusers won't stop until they kill the ones they're supposed to love.
Brooks says the courts still have a long way to go in improving services to victims of domestic violence and stalking. But she says restraining orders are an important piece of the process. Back to you guys.
All right, Anqunette, in cases of domestic abuse, there is no charge to file for a restraining order. That charge only applies to stalking involving a stranger. And again, lawmakers are trying to pass a bill to get rid of that fee.
The Margaret Rudin murder trial starts on Monday. She is accused of killing her husband and burying his body out by Lake Mead. But this Friday, she's taking a trip to Phoenix for an important deposition. A former wife of Ron Rudin's will testify about DNA evidence on a handkerchief. The state plans to use that DNA to incriminate Margaret Rudin. Her attorney thinks the trip is a bad idea.
It's a waste of taxpayer money. It's a waste of tens of thousands of dollars simply because the DA's office and the coroner's office or whoever was involved in this destroyed any possible way of getting Ron Rudin's DNA.
We're told Margaret Rudin will be flying by a commercial plane to Phoenix, flanked by officers, but other passengers might not be able to tell. The police will be in plain clothes, and Rudin's handcuffs will be hidden under a sweater or a blanket.
A 12-year-old girl was attacked by a dog today while she was walking home from school. This is 12-year-old Jacqueline Pleco. You can see she reaches out for family members as paramedics bring her into the hospital. Witnesses say a large dog described as a wolf-husky mix jumped through the fence and bit the girl's hand, arm, and shoulder. A motorist driving by saw it all happen and came to her rescue.
And she was crying and screaming, help, help. And I saw the other dog just briefly. I felt that the dog had her by her arm.
Animal control was called to the home and did remove that dog. The girl is now listed in fair condition at UMC. Meantime, a pregnant woman is recovering tonight after being attacked by a pit bull. Lisa King was out for a walk with her kids last night in Delaware when the dog knocked her to the ground, scratched her hand, and bit her stomach and forehead. Doctors were able to treat the bite marks. She should be okay. Vets are testing the dog for rabies now as a safety precaution.
People who abuse animals may face stiffer penalties soon. You probably remember Centennial High School's mascot, Blue. The bulldog was kidnapped and forced into a dog fight back in October. Because of cases like that, today a group of Las Vegans presented a petition to lawmakers up in Carson City via satellite, asking them to toughen the penalties for people who mistreat animals.
People shouldn't be getting away with it. You know, if it's kids doing it, if it's adults doing it, they should pay for what they're doing. You know, animals have feelings, and, you know, it's wrong.
For a first offense, the new law would carry a penalty of anywhere from 1 to 4 years in prison and a $5,000 fine. A second offense would bring mandatory prison time.
Race legend Dale Earnhardt was laid to rest today during a very private ceremony in North Carolina. Hundreds are expected inside this church tomorrow for a memorial service. Dozens of flowers have already been delivered to the church from celebrities and Earnhardt fans across the country. That service will be broadcast live on MSNBC starting at 8 o'clock in the morning. A much more public memorial service was held outside the Earnhardt headquarters in Mooresville, North Carolina today. NASCAR fans released balloons in honor of the driver, and a makeshift memorial has been set up for fans to visit and say goodbye. Earnhardt was killed Sunday during the final lap of the Daytona 500.
Even with the national economy slowing, Clark County is growing at an amazing rate. But with that growth, sometimes comes controversy, the growing pains we're always telling you about. As News 3's Gerard Ramalho reports tonight, now there's a beef over billboards.
Come to Las Vegas, the first thing you notice won't be the hotels. It'll be the billboards.
It kind of messes up the view if you're trying to see the strip and there's a billboard in your way.
There are dozens throughout the county advertising everything from shows to weight loss, even on-call strippers.
Do you think that we have enough billboards? Do you think we need more?
I don't think we need any.
Opinions are mixed about where the billboards should be placed. Right now, they're limited to an area called the Overlay District. But there's a problem.
As we are growing, there's obviously a greater demand for more billboard sites.
Hey, over here! Well, some say the billboards are just distracting, but others say the complaints really have to do with aesthetics.
You know, in a wide open space, you don't want to see sign after sign.
Advertisers want to expand the current area where billboards are allowed. They're specifically interested in the growing 215 Beltway.
And I think there needs to be careful consideration of how we want to see billboards become a part of our community, what areas we do not want them to be in.
The county hasn't indicated how or even if it will expand current billboard areas. In fact, commissioners are about to vote on a measure to put those decisions on hold. They may need more time to think about it, or maybe they're just waiting for a sign. Gerard Ramalho, News 3.
Be sure to give Gerard a wave if you pass by his billboard. Clark County commissioners are expected to vote on that billboard proposal sometime this week. They will probably stop accepting new billboard applications for about 90 days.
Didn't know he had his own live billboard. He's a pretty busy guy, you know.
He's still stuck up there right now.
Waving at people. The drug known as Ritalin is a popular prescription for young children.
But are doctors turning to the medicine too often? Next on Nightside, an in-depth look at the use of Ritalin. More kids are on it than ever before, but it may not be the wonder drug families are looking for.
Then, future brides freak out for wedding gowns. Find out what's behind all this chaos.
Hey man, Mitch Roberts here. We got all the Operation Basketball highlights from state finals up in Reno. You'll want to stick around. We'll have it all for you coming up later in sports.
Hey, Mitch isn't the only person who can whisper. Rachel Boesing here. The weather was lovely today, but we've got a low-pressure system that's going to cause some problems. Some changes are afoot. And Secret City, here's the clue. This city has more hotel rooms than any other city in the world. I'll have that answer in your forecast. That's next on News 3, where news comes first.
You're watching Southern Nevada's #1 choice for news. This is News 3 Nightside.
Ritalin has been hailed as a wonder drug for hyperactive kids, but in the past decade, the use of Ritalin has skyrocketed by more than 400%. News 3's Kendall Tenney looks into whether the drug is really necessary for all of the children who take it.
He's too fast for me, huh? Michael Yason appears to have all the energy in the world. But harnessing that enthusiasm hasn't always been easy for this 6-year-old. 2 years ago, Michael was diagnosed with ADHD, something that didn't surprise his grandmother, who's raising him.
Would not pay attention, would not follow directions, just did another world of his own.
As a result, Michael's doctor prescribed Ritalin.
When he's not on it, he bounces off the walls. You can tell when it's time for his Ritalin.
Hi, Michael. Michael's pediatrician, Dr. Kenneth Mish, says it's possible Michael might have to take Ritalin for the rest of his life.
Has everything been okay? Yeah. Good. The medicine's been okay? Good.
How does it work to help kids who are ADD or ADHD?
You know, right at the moment, nobody truly knows the exact biochemical means in which Ritalin works to help treat ADHD.
That's why Ritalin receives its share of criticism. Some say doctors are overdiagnosing ADHD, especially in the cases of preschoolers.
I think it just becomes a very, very difficult diagnosis in a child less than 5 or 6 years of age.
Diagnosing ADHD is not an exact science. No laboratory work or blood test can prove a child has it. Instead, it's a judgment call the doctor makes, sometimes after simply reviewing paperwork like this that teachers and parents fill out. Dr. Johanna Freaky believes there are certain traits that make a child more likely to end up with ADHD.
The reason that there is an increased incidence of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is the lower the birth weight, the higher the chance of a child's having ADHD.
Dr. Freaky has diagnosed and prescribed Ritalin to children as young as 2 years old, but says she doesn't prescribe the drug as a quick fix.
Come on, high five.
11-year-old Dana Rodenbeck is one of Dr. Freaky's patients. Dana showed the signs and symptoms of ADHD. It was a diagnosis Dana's mother, Karen, didn't want to believe at first.
I just thought it was all boy.
But Dana's actions told a different story.
He was probably about 3 or 4, and he would just get so out of control that he would run down to the back bedroom crying and screaming, and then he'd sit on the floor and rock himself and hit himself, saying how much he hated himself. We tried holistic approach. We tried chiropractic, herbs, a lot of different things. I tried diet.
When those methods didn't work, she reluctantly turned to Ritalin.
He's got a spark in his eyes. You know, you just see that energy. And the first times that we gave him the medication, it was just dull. It was like a deadness. And that's another thing that really, really broke my heart.
Dana also went through violent mood swings because of the Ritalin, one of the many side effects of the drug. He's now taking Concerta, a drug similar to Ritalin without all the side effects.
I'm watching you.
And as for Michael, he continues to take his Ritalin once a day, just like millions of other kids across the country. Kendall Tenney, News 3.
Ritalin has value on the street. It's considered a level 2 narcotic. That's just one step below illegal drugs like cocaine and heroin. The government has commissioned a study to research the effects of Ritalin, especially on toddlers.
All right, Rachel, you say Secret City, we say bring it on.
Bring it on.
Bring it on.
If you miss tonight's, you're voted off the island.
Exactly.
I mean, this is a big one.
Wrong channel, Jim.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. Okay, so here's the clue, right? This city has more hotel rooms than any other place on Earth.
Gotta be Reno.
Gotta be Winnemucca, I'm saying. All right, Vegas, baby.
Yeah.
Right here at home.
Las Vegas, baby. Yeah,
is that the front
right
of
here.
Caesars, or what is that?
Right here. We'd like to know exactly what we're looking at, Tom. Do we know exactly what we're looking at?
It's like part of Treasure Island.
We've got some waterfallage going on here. The back of the news, you know, I'm not even going to go there because he's going to figure it out. The best part about this shot, though, I do want to share with you is that every NBC station across the nation is showing that shot that we just saw. So that is live. We are on. Las Vegas is in the money tonight. We are just big time. All right, we're still trying to figure out where. It's part of Mandalay Bay, I understand. Love this. Okay, now we're coming back to our regular shot. This is the normal Fitzgerald's 2000 camera shot. It's partly cloudy and the temperature is 53 degrees and the humidity is 50%. The wind out of the southwest at 6, the barometer 30.08 inches of mercury and falling. And as we fly down the Colorado River and check out temperatures elsewhere around the valley, you know what? The temperatures are holding up fairly well. It's after 11 o'clock, people, and it's still pretty mild outside. 52 degrees right now, Lake Mead, 55 in North Las Vegas, 55 in Henderson, 27 degrees up on the mountaintop, 44 degrees over the hump in Pahrump, thanks to my friend Steve Benson there. Here's the situation, clouds, then clearing, then a few more clouds drifting across the valley. We don't mind so much. We are under partly cloudy conditions. Those clouds ahead of a system that's spinning off the northern California coast. I'll show that to you in one moment. First, though, we got to check out temperatures around the west. 36 degrees right now in Salt Lake City, 31 in Tonopah, 51 degrees right now in San Francisco. Here's the situation. Yeah, you can see it. The low pressure system gathering steam, becoming more organized. That low is going to be sliding eastward, and we are going to get some clouds ahead of that system, and we're also going to have the wind pick up just a little bit, and then some moisture is going to come in later, and that means that we could see a chance of showers Thursday night, chance of showers Friday, and then chance of showers Sunday as well. Elsewhere around the nation, this system starts to get more organized, and as you can see, snowfall to the midsection, then it turns into rain, so snow yet again around the Great Lakes region. It is winter after all, so they should be used to this. 65 degrees is the normal high for this time of year. We cranked it up to 63. We'll fall back to about 49 degrees in the next couple of hours. 47 by sunrise, not too shabby. 61 by mid-morning. 66 will be our high tomorrow. As I mentioned, increasing clouds, breezy conditions, could be a little gusty, blustery, get the hairspray out. 49 and 72 your numbers at the lake. Mount Charleston, you'll fall back 1 degree. About 26 degrees will be your low. About 43 or so will be your high. A chance of snow showers tomorrow. And then, as I mentioned, yeah, sometimes I just can't deliver it, but we're hoping that things are going to change, that the models will change, and that low pressure system actually won't affect us at all. But right now, it looks like we have a chance of showers, as I mentioned, Thursday night, and then chance of showers Friday, 53. Saturday, a mix of sun and clouds, 58. Sunday, 52, another chance of showers. Monday, 56. So, yes, as we're getting closer to the weekend, we would like the forecast to get better. But apparently I can't deliver right now.
If that is our fate, we accept it.
That's right.
We'll deal with it.
We can still hope.
We can still hope. And isn't that cool that everyone around the nation just saw that shot?
As
As
they should.
You know, we're flexing the muscle.
Thanks, Ray.
Yep.
Here's a story that will make your head spin. A construction worker was operating a crane in Arcadia, California.
Whoa.
When he fell out of the seat and bumped the controls, sending the crane into an out-of-control spin. Now, the crane operator suffered minor injuries in the incident, but that crane kept whirling for 2 hours before it eventually just ran out of gas.
Just wait, they'll be adding a ride like that to one of the strip casinos any day now, I'm sure. Hey, that's a great idea.
Only a matter of time.
Just ahead here on Nightside, brides out bargain hunting for that perfect gown.
This is not your typical sale. The rest of the story next on News 3 Nightside, where news comes first. Stay one step ahead of crime. Check out my Crime Tracker 3 reports. Just visit KVBC.com and click on the Crime Tracker 3 button. We're setting the pace in cyberspace. Getting married is stressful enough, and for brides-to-be, finding the perfect dress can get a little crazy. In this case, it was downright chaotic. Check out what happens when every gown gets marked down to $249. The doors part and a sea of shoppers grabs everything in sight. That annual sale took place at Felines in Columbus, Ohio. We're told 800 dresses were gone in just a matter of minutes. The best strategy there seemed to be to grab as many dresses as possible, then just keep your fingers crossed that you found the perfect one.
At least they were pretty orderly. Not a lot of pushing and shoving going on there.
A lot of happiness.
Coming up in sports, Mitch Roberts has a Rick Pitino update, and it's looking better and better for UNLV.
And we'll have state championship basketball action from Reno, Operation Basketball Style. Next on News 3, where news comes first.
We've been working hard to be your home for Operation Basketball all season long, and now it's really getting down to the wire.
It really is. All the teams who were the best teams in Southern Nevada are up in Reno getting it on in the state championship. Feel a little bit weird not being in the locker room, but this will do. Bishop Gorman boys open up state tournament play tonight in Reno, facing the Jags of Desert Pines. Gorman came out very focused in this one. Don't want to get upset like they almost did in the first round of the playoffs. Denard Taylor showing the crowd how to hit a three and then hot dog it on the way back down the court. DP getting some airtime. Jamar Barnes getting inside on Jason Carter, but it wouldn't happen often. Justin burns the Jags with a dunk in transition, and big Jason Carter showing the folks up north he's so good he can dunk in slow-mo. Bishop Gorman wins it. 76-56 was the final. Great game between Western and McQueen. We go late in the second half. Wendell West hitting the three ball. Western with a slim 2-point lead. Time running out in regulation. But McQueen answers down 3 when Pat Harrigan gets the hoop down low. We're headed to overtime. Then in the first OT, the Lancers were down. They needed this bucket coming up here just to stay in it. Curtis Colazzi hitting a 3 right there, forcing double OT. But Western rocked in the final period. Perhaps the other team lost their legs and Western had a good conditioning because they win it in the double OT period, 73-61 your final. Earlier this afternoon, the Las Vegas Wildcats battled the Reno Huskies. Cats had trouble on D earlier. Sean Davis, the Huskies senior, knocking down the J right there. A bit later in the first half, Ben Anderson going baseline and feeling fine because he's just knocking those down at ease. But not for long because Jeremy Atwater getting it going for Las Vegas. Look at the alley. And there's the oop. He led all scorers with 23 points, and Las Vegas wins it 60-46. So good news there for Gorman, Western, and Las Vegas all winning. Here is the bad news. Only one area team lost on the boys' side. Galena knocking them off 56-41 over the Green Valley Gators. Well, in 1980, I was a junior in high school. That was a long time ago. That's also the last time a Southern Nevada girls team won the state championship. Will this finally be the year? Bishop Gorman got off to a good start today. You can see that the McQueen girls were crying there, so obviously Gorman put it on them. Brianna Gray with the easy two. Gorman up 21 in this one. Lancers needed a bunch of threes to get back in it. Kay Blunt with the triple, but to put it bluntly, McQueen really never had a chance. Gorman's like a college team. Monica Knight with the hoop and the foul. The Lady Gales win it 67-41. Now to Southern Nevada schools, Centennial and Silverado. Darcy Sandoval cannon the J here for the Lady Dogs. But Silverado came right back, and they kept coming all day long. Jamie Connors with the spin move and the score off the glass right there. Nikki Hitchens missing the first try, but if she does, she's always good on D. Quick hands the steal and puts it back in there. Silverado wins it 54-44 was the final. A couple of other girls scores for you. Reno knocked Green Valley out, so unfortunately both Gators teams go down in the first round there at state. And Galena over Las Vegas on the girls' side, 68-36 was the final. A TV station in Boston is reporting that Rick Pitino has decided on UNLV as the best place to continue his coaching career. They're quoting an article from a company supposedly based in Las Vegas called Sports Network. I did check. There's no one in Las Vegas with that name. We understand the company could be based out of Philadelphia, so we'll follow it tomorrow. But take all this Pitino stuff with a grain of gossip. It says Pitino will earn $1.7 million per season. That includes a salary, shoe contract, tons of other bonuses. The article also says the deal could be finalized in the next 3 days. The Board of Regents for UNLV should be meeting on March 1st and 2nd, but apparently, according to this article, they'll meet on the Pitino issue before then. When I contacted UNLV officials today, they said that they had no knowledge of any Board of Regents meeting coming up before March 1st and 2nd. Well, finally, the Paiute Golf Resort is expanding. World-famous course designer Pete Dye is building a new 18, which will feature more hills and 2 lakes. You can see a little bit of it there. Pete says the course will be to die for.
Ground on a more exciting piece of ground to work on. You don't really see that driving in, but the topography of the ground is better, and there's more of it. So we're hoping to do something in different from the golf course, the first 2 golf courses, to make it the looks different.
Boy, if you've ever golfed out there, it's already just beautiful. It's sweet like country club golf out there. And to think that this course will be even better than the 2 they have, that's good news for area golfers.
It's amazing.
It's going to be nice.
Thanks, Mitch.
We'll be right back. A celebration in Havana for one of the things Cuba is famous for. Cigar lovers around the world are in Old Havana for the 3rd annual Cigar Festival. That festival celebrates Cuba's famous cigar industry, which according to most accounts makes some of the best cigars in the world.
It's going to about do it for us tonight, right? We're out of time?
I think so. Sure.
Yeah, okay.
Let's see, looking at the watch, yeah.
Thanks for having us in tonight.
Leno's up next. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Good night.
Good night.